Welcome back to News Insights. Engineer Kingsley, can you imagine that a 17-year-old was jailed, was sentenced to death, not even, he was sentenced to death because he stole a fowl?
There are two things I can't imagine there. Apart from that, the 17-year-old was sentenced to death for stealing a fowl. I didn't actually imagine that there is a law in Nigeria that prescribes being sentenced to death for stealing anything like fowl. Let it be 17-year-old, let the person be 55 years old, and let the person be 90 years old. That there is a law in Nigeria that allows sentencing of somebody to death for stealing of fowl. I mean, why do we talk about using disproportionate force when fighting war against the military or things like that? There's nothing like being proportionate punishment for a crime. Crime and its punishment, there should be some element. Yes, there should be a relation. You know, so I can't really imagine that a 17-year-old that qualifies as a minor could be sentenced to death. You know, that news itself, we need to take it to the root and find out the judge that actually did that.
Yes, exactly.
I mean, what do you think of tempering justice with mercy? In the first place, that isn't even justice.
That's not justice.
That is not even justice in the first place, let alone, you know, not going ahead to use your mercy. So we need to know the judge that delivered that case. Okay, but thank God the governor waded into the matter and he's penciled for pardon.
Yes.
Okay, but we need to probe into that law
and even review all his cases.
Yeah, this is a country where people who are stealing billions are moving about being granted bail, and they were not even anywhere headed to death, even though they are convicted at the end of the day.
And he must have stolen just because he was hungry.
Well, I don't know why he stole. I don't encourage stealing, but maybe Barrister will help us.
Help us with that.
Well. It's interesting that we're in this country and we're witnessing what is happening today. I don't want to say much about the sentences and all the whatever has happened, but I want to dwell more on what Governor Adeleke has done. What he has done has shown clearly that there are some people who still have conscience in this country.
Yes.
He do not only said he's going to pardon this offender, but he had commissioned the Attorney General of the State and Commissioner for Justice to constitute a panel to investigate what has happened. And what you have alluded to is one of the things they are going to look at. Because, for instance, all over the world, 17 years a minor is a juvenile.
Yeah, under constitution.
So if he has committed offense, he should have taken to a juvenile court.
That's
exactly.
And if it's a juvenile court, whether it's even more dry, it won't be sentenced
to death.
He won't be sentenced to death.
That the man stole a chicken, a bird. And it is a mere allegation. We have also found out that people have been alleged to have done things that they never did, and they are punished for it.
Exactly.
That's true.
It's possible this mere, allegation heap on this young man's head just for him to be punished. We need to know more about what has happened. But the good thing is that the governor has kickstarted the process of prerogative of mercy, because no matter how bad the judgment is, the judgment of the set aside. So this man, whether he was rightly sentenced or not, is sentenced to death. So the only way to take him from the hook of the law is to follow the law process to also unhook him, and that is the prerogative of mercy. Either you do that or you go on appeal.
That's true. But I thought in Nigeria they've abolished the death sentence.
We're not in all states.
Oh, okay.
Yes. It's very minimal, but it's still there.
It's still there.
Yes, it's not in all states. I don't have the knowledge of the Osun State criminal code at the moment, so I don't want to speak on it.
Yes.
Yeah. So I know it's not in all states.
I understand. Engineer Kingsley, what would you have suggested they did from the beginning? Not the death sentence, like something they would do instead of sentencing him to death.
No, just like you said, we do not even have details whether there is a confessional statement of doing it, or he was caught doing it, or it was an allegation which he even denied and pleaded not guilty. So we didn't know that. But approaching or taking anybody to the court is a normal process. There's nothing wrong about that. We don't encourage stealing. Even when you're hungry, you can ask for help. You can. So what they did by taking him to court, in as much as we don't have the details, I can't fault that. Okay? Because if he wasn't caught, we'll probably not hear about it at all.
True.
You understand? So there's nothing wrong about that. So I was just thinking that when you have a minor commit certain offense, let's assume he even committed the offense, you shouldn't take any steps less than what this governor has done. You understand?
And in addition to what you are saying, we are not encouraging whether adult, minor, juvenile to steal.
Exactly.
No matter your condition.
That's right.
But again, if a minor commit offense, it should be taken to juvenile court.
You should be talking to a
and
juvenile
not to
court
adult
where
court.
they exist.
Yes, but what
Then if they don't exist, then you let them go home.
That's right.
Because they can't be tried. And I
Well,
don't know.
you know, that's
Because
why
the law that's applicable to them, they
Yeah,
are not there.
that's right.
The only way you can try a juvenile is in a juvenile court.
And that's why we keep saying this. If though our democracy is very young, it's very young.
That's true.
These cases are exposing certain things that we need to do.
Yes.
If we do not have a juvenile court, we should have it. Because there are cases where a juvenile can go all out and do something really
Terrible thing.
terrible.
Yeah,
And-
that was one of the things I wanted
and
to
allowing them go
look at.
home could become a danger
A
to
danger to
society.
society.
But you see,
You understand?
the truth is this. It's a sad situation when we say our democracy is young. These things were inherited. I remember I did diploma in social work for University of Benin. And we're meant to go and do field work for 3 weeks. I was privileged to do my own field work at the juvenile court in Port Harcourt.
Yeah.
So the colonial master left with us juvenile courts. So because of the same failure in governance,
Yes.
these courts were mismanaged and they were killed if they are not in existence anymore. So you cannot say, if I say our democracy is young, we inherit democracy. Democracy is not our system of government.
It's not.
So whatever that and that is a bad democracy were handed over to us. So what happened to the juvenile courts that were in Benin, they were in Warri, they were in everywhere?
You know,
What has happened to them?
that's the greater corruption of the system.
Exactly.
If there is any arm of government that has fared very badly, I think it's the judiciary. Do you know why I say so? They are to be the last line of all the failure of all these
That's
ones.
true.
Now, you have a judiciary where people are saying that with money you can have your way. This same judiciary is sending a juvenile to death. You see, the arm of law that's supposed to be a balance, that's supposed to be justice, it's not
symbol
there.
of justice.
And also,
last hope of the common
the last
man.
hope. No, it's not. We are calling the last time we say it's a
the
weapon.
weapon of the-
It's a weapon of the
of the
rich.
elect.
Yes, we established here the other day. I think it was Vicky, you were the one that said it. That now the judiciary is the weapon of the rich. And look in this case, who knows the owner of the
Of the
fowl?
fowl.
That was
Now that you have, I was trying to be very diplomatic when I said we don't know.
It might be say, I will deal with you, I will jail you, and I will do this.
Heap on the gentleman's head just for you to be.
They want to kill him and use the law to
Yes,
kill the
to kill
boy.
him. That's all.
It's terrible. The judiciary need to wake up. They need to wake up.
So in essence, what Nigeria needs a functioning juvenile court.
We need a functioning juvenile court. Maybe they have it in Osun. We have not investigated this
Truth
matter.
is that we need.
But if they have it in Osun and they did not try
So this
him on
their
that,
judgment is
that-
invalid.
It's invalid. So that's the ball.
and they would have done an absolute like this. You're taking someone's life. You cannot undo it. You cannot undo it.
So you see, what we need, we have said it before. The entire Nigerian system need to be overhauled, most especially the judiciary.
Judiciary. The judiciary.
Most especially the judiciary. It's not just anybody that will go to the bench.
Yes.
It is not by recommendation. It will be by merit.
Merit.
Yes,
Merit.
that's true.
Not because you know the
See,
minister,
see,
you
the-
know this.
The people are in the bench. In Tuesday, judges are like spirits. You don't come in contact with them.
Yeah.
That's true.
You can't find a judge.
They should not be
who
seen
can-
If there's even
outside.
conflict of interest, they'll have to take out the judge.
Yes.
Even when they are in the church, you can't even notice that they are in the church.
That's right.
But today they celebrate them in any way. You see
Yes,
them.
they go to naming ceremony. As a matter of fact, those were the reasons why they don't even allow cameras in the court before. So you don't get to know the judge, You don't get to see the judge. You don't get to say, oh, this man looks like the man handling my case. Yeah, maybe you are at the supermarket buying. They were very quiet. People who are happy with their quiet life, whose accolades do not come from how much they have or what they owe, but from the judgment they render. Such that even though you are a lawyer, you took a case to court, and the judgment comes out, you see it as justice. Even when you lose, internally you look at it as justice. Not these days, people are so sure they are going to win a case because they have more money.
That's true.
It's so, to the extent that those who are not judges are actually, there's no regard for judicial in Nigeria anymore.
Now,
we don't have regard for judges anymore.
When the man has a case, you say, oh, make I just leave him.
We don't have regard for judges.
There's no,
Yes.
There's no assurance that they was going to get
Justice.
Yes, and people prefer to settle out.
Yes, of course, it has always been better anyway.
And the police are cashing out from it.
Yes.
Because you want to go to court.
Go to court.
That's very sad. We should really look into our judiciary system.
It needs to be over.
It needs to be over.
Thank you very much. Thank you for watching News Insight. We'll be right back.